On this week's show, Peloton is increasing prices in some countries and more community features are being teased.
Plus, walking bootcamp classes are here, the new Discover yoga program, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 194 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I am Amanda Siegel, and I am joined this week by John Pruitt. Just you and me, babe.
I got some nice, sweaty, wet hair just fresh off of my Beck's Walk Plus run.
All right.
I'm recording dirty.
Yeah. Well, we always like to make sure that we get you back and we have you here. So if it's coming off a workout, that's always a good thing. Always a good thing. And no, Chris Lewis, he is sailing the ocean blue.
He's been
going
really
up
getting
the
around
East
lately.
Coast. I know. I think he has.
It's well traveled.
So that's kind of fun. And he is, somewhere on the East Coast, going up the East Coast. It looks like a fun trip. So it's just you and me. Some
Free
folks
reign,
like that.
baby.
Some folks don't. So I don't know. They kind of like Chris Lewis giving his input. So hopefully we won't disappoint the masses today with just you and me. But I guess we can kick right off it. I'm waiting, but you've obviously forgotten what this weekend is.
Is it your birthday?
It is, John Pruitt.
Happy birthday.
And I am the crazy 55-year-old that loves to celebrate her birthday. So happy birthday to me if I'm not getting it from you. Virgo, baby, right on the cusp. But Virgo.
What are Virgos known for?
So a fun weekend at the studio.
Nice.
With Maddie's walk and talk on Friday and Alex's Club Bangers run. So that is a first for me, running with Alex. So all your birthday
classes
studio.
will be in person at the studio?
Will be in person, yes.
Sweet.
So Friday
and
then Saturday, Matty has a double header. He has a 20-minute Broadway run, a walk, and a 20-minute walk plus run, and then a beautiful yin yoga with Kira. So fun weekend.
Make sure you got your gender and age visible on your leaderboard.
I need to. I know. So obviously, folks, you realize we record this, a couple days ahead of time. So while you're listening to this on Sunday, I have now become a 55-year-old. Yeah, I'm very proud of my age. I mean, why not, right? Working out, feeling good. It's all good. Embrace it. Absolutely. Me and Krista McGee, we embrace our age. So, all right. Well, we do have lots to cover. So why don't we kick it right off? As always, folks, before we do get started with the news, we always like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button at the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button to make sure that you never miss an episode.
Yep, and we're also on all traditional podcast platforms. If you want to listen, you're on the go, find us there. Leave us reviews, 5-star only, yada, yada, yada.
And of course, we are on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, X. So, of course, make sure that you follow us so that you stay up to date with all of the latest news. And now let's get on with the show.
Right.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Well, kicking it off, very interesting. Peloton has raised the prices for the hardware starting this past week. So September 12th, Peloton has raised the prices for the Bike and Bike Plus in international markets such as the UK, Australia, Germany, and Austria. The Peloton Row in price in the US and Canada has also been increased. So the key price changes, the Peloton Row increased by $300 in the US from $2,995 to $3,295.
That's wild to me.
And in Canada by 350 Canadian dollars. So yeah, I don't know if the demand has just increased and they figure they can, or what the general market looks like out there. The bike in the UK will rise from £1,345 to £1,599, and in Australia from 2,145 Australian dollars to 2,699. The Bike Plus also has an increase in the UK to now £2,199 from £1,995, and in Australia from 3,345 Australian dollars to 3,699. Peloton does attribute these price hikes to the introduction of new features such as Amazon Kindle integration, new scenic content, and the upcoming Strength Plus, and the Zwift style game betas that they're testing. These updates, Peloton claims, increase the value of the hardware. So I guess time will tell as to whether or not we'll see an influx of folks purchasing them. And I think we immediately get that shock. Okay, the price has now gone up. But then once somebody starts looking at a bike 2 or 3 months from now, they don't really know that that the price went up 3 months before.
Yeah, and there's such an influx on Marketplace. I mean, I see people, selling the original.
In the States. I remember that price hasn't gone up in the States. And I haven't seen any rows for resale.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if you have, but I have not seen any rows. I did take a look at that.
I see a couple, they show up in my feed here and there.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen any. So remember, this is now in the EU markets, I should say, UK and EU markets, that folks are looking at that increase. So I don't know if resale is as prevalent there as it is here in the US. But it is interesting timing-wise. We're kind of at the end of September. Does that give them the opportunity then to, give away or give good sales at Thanksgiving time, and then not feeling like they're decreasing the cost of the equipment then? So there may be some method in their madness
they discount it right back to the original price, so you feel like you're getting it, but you're really you're just getting the price from a few months before.
So that's something, I'm wondering if that's kind of the method behind it. But that's the news, and we report it to you. So take it up with them.
I mean, the increase in the Row is wild to me, because I feel like it's so overpriced
already
to begin with, and I just don't feel like they're not going to get any more sales from that. Obviously. So I don't understand the logic behind it, but
we will wait and see.
Well, during a recent financial conference, the City Global TMT conference, specifically, Peloton's Chief Financial Officer, Liz Coddington, outlined the company's direction for international expansion, which includes prioritizing third-party logistics over traditional retail strategies. So we've seen a lot of retail showrooms close in the U.S. and outside of the country in recent months, including Australia. But Coddington had emphasized that these partnerships offer more efficient and sustainable pathways to growth, especially in new markets. So this approach sort of contrasts with Peloton's earlier expansion methods in countries like the UK and Australia, where the company built out delivery teams and established physical showrooms. And now Peloton has already implemented this model in Germany, transitioning to a fully third-based party structure earlier this month. So they're ending direct sales. So it's not Peloton delivering the bikes or the hardware and setting it up. In Austria, they're also doing the same thing right from launch. So Coddington explained that this has provided some important lessons for Peloton's future international operations. And according to her, these moves allow them to be more efficient and sustainable, streamlining logistics and operational infrastructure, obviously reducing overhead with, employee headcount and, payroll and benefits and everything that goes with that, while enhancing the flexibility in the markets where Peloton has less physical presence.
Yeah, interesting. Which is kind of interesting because I just saw that a new showroom just opened up somewhere, and I should have made a note of where it is, but here locally in the U.S.
Really?
In Nashville.
Nashville.
Thank you. Control room. I haven't been able to say that for a while. Thank you, Chris. Josh Vernon had just posted something about that apparently there's a showroom that just opened up in Nashville. So who knows the rhyme or reason as to,
I wonder if
why they closed.
Is it a proper space or is it a rage cage like one of those, wire?
I don't know the details. I don't know I think it may be a proper space from what I remember seeing. Maybe we'll give that info next week. But I did notice that. So who really knows the rhyme or reason of why they couldn't do that stuff. But yeah, all right. Well, moving gears a little bit, Hyatt is offering VIP class experience for Peloton's All for One weekend coming up next weekend. So we reported last week that we now have the final schedule for All for One, which will kind of run between the 26th and 30th of September. And it is for folks both in London and New York. So London folks get to participate in this as well. These packages include VIP spots, behind-the-scene studio tours led by instructors.
That's pretty cool.
Which is very cool. Certainly not something that I have seen anybody have other than if you're invited, specifically by somebody. And then obviously the normal post-class photo opportunities, etc. The available class instructors are, the likes of Cody Rigsby, Olivia Mata, Susie Chan, and Bradley Rose. So those are the 4 instructors that will be participating in this Hyatt collaboration. The package includes 2 VIP class spots, a 2-night stay at the Park Hyatt in New York City, a studio tour for $1,560 or $1,111,242 points, Hyatt points. Class-only packages, so you can just do the class-only packages if you don't want to do the accommodation too. This includes 2 VIP spots, the studio tour, and I like how they put in the post-class photo, which, of course, everybody gets.
It's included,
That's $208. So it's a price. You're paying for that studio tour.
I bet people are going to pay it.
And people are going to pay it, right? Wouldn't you want to walk around with Cody and get, kind of get a backseat?
Well, behind the scenes sounds really cool. I don't know if I'd pay a G-note for that, but I'm sure somebody would.
No. But $208, I mean, think about it.
That's not bad.
It's like 100, just about $130 to do that. Or you could use your points, which is 14,857. There is also a behind-the-scenes tour. If you do not want to do classes, but just want to go behind the scenes, that is led by Adrian Williams, Camilla Rahman, and the class instructors themselves. This collaboration does follow, and they don't give you I didn't get a price on that, on what just that would be if you just wanted to choose that. The collaboration follows Peloton and Hyatt's partnership, which puts Peloton hardware in Hyatt hotels and will eventually allow members to actually earn Hyatt points when you're working out. So if you jump on a piece of equipment and you work out, you'll get points, which I think is incredibly motivating. So I don't know how many points you get for a workout. It's probably based on time. But that's kind of cool. Maybe. Or miles, correct. But that's definitely kind of cool. So I don't know if it's too late. I don't know if all of them, I must be honest, I don't know if all of the passes have been, swooped up already, or whether it's too late to join that. But if you're listening to the show, jump on that, go onto pelobuddy.com, and I'm sure Chris has a link. And if you have Hyatt, if you're a Hyatt, rewards member, definitely look into that.
Nice. Well, Peloton is holding some in-person events in both New York City and London in honor of the 2024 All for One Music Festival, which is right around the corner. And this will include a DJ set from Jess King at PSNY, as well as a trivia event with Susie Chan and Joslyn Thompson Rule at London. In case you missed it, we had announced, Peloton had announced, and we shared the lineup of artists and the partial schedule, which were live classes only that we could see on the actual schedule for the 2024 festival back on September 12th. But this year's festival, it's right around the corner. It's from September 26th to the 30th, and it's going to feature 15 artists and focus more on more long-form classes than in previous years. But we have, the full details on pelobuddy.com. But the in-person events will take place on Saturday, the 28th. The London event will be a music quiz, and New York's will be the DJ party. The PSL music quiz event will happen also on Saturday, September 28th at 2:30 p.m. London time. And the official description for that event reads, whether you're a seasoned music aficionado or just love to sing along to your favorite hits, challenge your knowledge and celebrate our artist lineup in a game of trivia, hosted by the dynamic duo Susie Chan and Joslyn Thompson Rule in our Peloton Studios London Cafe. The event is actually free to attend there, but you have to reserve your spot in advance via the event website, which we have linked to in the article on pelobuddy.com. I checked it the other day, and there looked like there were still RSVPs available. So definitely, if you're in the London area in Covent Garden,
nice,
hit that out. And also, there will be some light snacks, refreshments, and juice bar items for additional purchase. And everyone will also receive a little complimentary goodie bag.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So they're
they always
putting out
add
all
the
stops
extra
this
touches
year
at the London studio. It's nice.
Yeah, they definitely do. And they say light snacks, but London definitely know how to do it. They cater these events beautifully. That's one thing I will say. Look, I guess a lot of they're kind of pulling out the stops for All for One, since it doesn't look like there is a Peloton on tour this year. I think that's maybe something that they're kind of shelving.
Not in the budget, probably.
Which was very disappointing. But so I guess they're putting a little bit more into the into All for One, which is kind of fun. All right. Well, this one I was really excited to take and to report about, because I took it and it was fantastic. So Peloton has now introduced its new Walking Bootcamp classes, with the first one led by Matty Maggiacomo. It was released on demand on September the 17th. It's a 30-minute class which combines low-impact walking intervals on the tread with strength-building exercises on the mat. The class emphasizes a full-body workout, keeping movements low-impact with walking inclines kept below 5%. The format is designed to be accessible while still challenging, catering to members looking for a low-impact workout, but an effective one. Peloton has offered walking-based bootcamps in the past, but they were actually purged from the library. So if you kind of went on there and wanted to go and see...
I was thinking hikes with Rebecca.
The hikes with Rebecca, correct. But I think in the past they had some walking boot camps.
Yeah.
The hikes with Rebecca do count as a walking class.
They count as a tread.
Excuse me. You're
camp.
So right.
Yeah.
They do count as a tread class. Yep.
Yeah.
So this reintroduction signals a shift towards offering more accessible walking-based workouts, appealing to a broader range of members. Those folks that do want to incorporate a little bit of strength into their workout. It is my pick of the week. I'll talk more about it in picks of the week. It was fantastic.
I did it Wednesday.
Okay.
And it was a lot of fun, because it was nice just, because Wednesdays now I take it easy. There's no live classes.
Correct.
Most studios are closed. So I always look to see what I've missed or what's dropped recently. And so I did it. It was a lot of fun. I looked to see who had previously done it, and you were well ahead of me. But
Really?
I just don't care as much.
Yeah,
if it's not live.
It wasn't out of choice. It was just kind of I
was looking at your mat, and I was like, I'm not going to bother beating her.
I love that you did that. I love that you did that. I will tell you,
I hope they do some of them live. I hope they're not all just released on demand.
I know. But I will tell you, I've been off my strength game the past 2 or 3 weeks, and my legs were still hurting on Thursday.
You're still feeling it? Yeah,
I was still feeling it. So I was pleased with myself that I put the work in.
There's a real lack right now. There's a real lack of live tread boot camps. They used to be at noon almost every day during the week. Now they're just gone.
They're just not doing them. They're just not doing them. So, let us know how you get on and if you guys do them. But we definitely, it was fun. And Matty's just a joy. I mean, he's just so fun. So, really great.
Well, Peloton is celebrating Latin and Hispanic Heritage Month, LHHM, with some special classes going on now, starting, they started September 15th, but going through October 15th. And they're approaching this year's content a little bit differently in that instead of just the umbrella LHHM classes that they normally do in the past, they've broken things up into 4 different categories, which are a musica electronica, musica alternativa, fiesta latina, and todo ritmo. And this follows what Peloton has done with some other recent celebration months earlier in the year. But as of publishing time, they have not announced a specific class list. But numerous classes have already been added to the upcoming schedule. Some have already taken place live, like I did a Cody Musica Electronica live ride earlier this week. I think that was on Monday night. And there's a special nice colorful shiny badge for it that you get for the LHHM classes. However, they did reveal one special artist series on the way over coming in the next few weeks, which is musical artist Selena. They shared, Peloton shared the news via the Peloton Studios Instagram story that booking for in-person classes for this one would open on September 15th, which was a Sunday instead of the standard Thursday. So that one, I know Camilla is on the schedule for that one, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And then you got Rad. Did you pick that up?
Yes. So we have a brand new split strength program from Rad Lopez. It's in Spanish. It's an intermediate split strength program. It's also the first Spanish language split strength program on the platform now. Split strength programs, if you're unfamiliar with them, they're designed to be repeated for a few weeks in a row so you can track and measure your progress over time with them. The official description for it reads, maximize your workouts by split training with Rad, increase strength and build muscle in this 1-week program by targeting specific areas of the body in each workout. Repeat and track your progress. And as of recording time right now, they can be joined from the Peloton Bike, the Tread, the app, or the Peloton website. You simply browse to the programs area and find Rad's intermediate 3-day split program and join it there. The classes are designed to be taken in order. So if you do it from the hardware, it won't let you do day, the next class in the sequence unless you've already completed the first one. But we provide in pelobuddy.com, we provide the links so that you can take them out of order if you want, or I guess you can put them in a stack and then do them on the hardware that way. So you're not locked out the way they do that from the hardware, the physical hardware.
But if I'm not mistaken, I think once you've done the 3 classes, then you can kind of mix and match them if you do the second week, right? Okay, that's what I thought. It doesn't relock it each time.
So far, what dropped on September 15th, the day 1 is a 20-minute chest and biceps. Day 3, 20-minute back and triceps. And then day 5 is a 30-minute legs and core.
Nice. Awesome. All right, good. Well, Peloton has also introduced a new Discover Yoga collection consisting of 9 one-week programs, each focused on different aspects of yoga. So the programs led by various instructors, including classes with Ross Rayburn and Kristen McGee, who, as we know, are no longer employed by Peloton. So that was definitely a welcomed little surprise that we saw.
Obviously recorded before.
Correct.
Departures.
And must have been, included in their contracts. But it was kind of nice to see that. So the classes aim to help both beginners and seasoned yogis just to deepen their practice. Each program will be released weekly, with the first one having dropped just this past week, and they will run through till November the 11th. The programs cover specific themes. So week 1 is sun salutations with Aditi Shah. Week 2 are standing positions with Mariana Fernandez. Week 3 are twists with Kristen McGee. Week 4 is binds with Nico Serrani. Week 5, balancing postures with Dennis Morton. Week 6 gives you back bends with Ross Rayburn. Week 7, arm balances with Kira. Week 8, inversions with Anna Greenberg. And week 9 wraps it up with floor poses with Chelsea Jackson Roberts. The programs will be under the Discover Yoga collection, allowing members just to improve that, foundational pose and gain confidence in their yoga flow. And they are not locked. So you are able to take them in any way. Each week only comes out each week, but you can kind of mix and match if you choose. Thanks. So with that being said, as mentioned, the first week of the Discover Yoga collection features Aditi's Sun Salutations program. And this particular week-long series focuses on breaking down the components of the vinyasa flow and practicing the sun salutations. The program includes 5 classes. So day 1 kind of gives you just a 10-minute intro to sun salutations. Day 2 is a 15-minute transitions and chaturanga. Day 3 is a 15-minute sun salutation A. Day 4 is a sun salutation B. 15 minutes of sun salutations flow is on day 5. So it goes through the whole flow. And kind of wraps and culminates everything you've learned or perfected in that week. It focuses on helping members to kind of improve their alignments and transitions between the poses. And really, I think what we've seen within the platform is that yoga has really become something that so many members are doing that probably would never have tried yoga before, probably have never been into a studio, never done. So I think what they've done, and I think it's brilliant, I think what they've done is they've really tried to make it accessible to everybody and give folks an opportunity that, can do some of this before they take a live class in studio. Because I've been in many a yoga class where it's somebody's first time doing yoga, which I think is amazing. And it gives them this whole, refined respect of the practice, and definitely bringing the practice to the forefront, which I think is incredibly smart on Peloton's part. So I think they're investing in the program as they've seen it become such a valuable, such a valuable component. I like it.
Well, Peloton's launched a brand new class series called Music of Marvel, which features songs from soundtracks from movies and some TV shows in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Sam Yo kicked off the series on the afternoon of September 16th. I did the ride live. It was a 30-minute Music of Marvel ride. And he started off, as soon as pre-show began, he was wearing an Iron Man mask. Then he just popped off the cover. And then he didn't wear it for the ride. But it was a lot of fun because it had a really good mix of music from the soundtracks from the Avengers universe, from Iron Man, from Thor, X-Men, the Disney Plus show Loki, which is really good, which I like, Guardians of the Galaxy, and some additional ones. And as of recording time today, there are 4 classes listed on the upcoming schedule, or 3 more. Well, Sam's already occurred. But we've got a 30-minute Music of Marvel run with Logan. I think this one actually ended up getting canceled. I'm not sure. It was supposed to happen on September 17th.
Okay.
With Logan. Logan's live class was, this is an additional note to the article. His live class was canceled at last minute. And he also had another cancellation for a strength class, I believe. So I'm not sure what happened with Logan there.
Oh, okay.
But that one was supposed to happen the following day on the 17th. A 20-minute Music of Marvel's Arms and Shoulders Strength occurred with Robin on Thursday the 19th at noon. And then the last one occurred also on the 19th. That one dropped as a premiere. It was in German, and it was a 30-minute Music of Marvel ride with Mila Lazar.
Nice. I will say that Sam Yo's reel that he orchestrated
the
was
effects that he did.
Phenomenal. Wasn't that
he was
just
jumping, leaping off the ground?
Huge kudos. I don't know how they produced that, but I have to say, it almost made me want to do the ride, and which was kind of interesting. Cool. It definitely kind of got my attention. So huge kudos and shout out to Sam for having that compiled and produced. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, moving on. We always like to kind of give you the overview of the This Week at Peloton from this past week. And the highlights for this past week were as follows. Tunde had her first Power Zone FTP test, which dropped on Wednesday, September the 18th, with a 10-minute Power Zone FTP warm-up ride and the 20-minute FTP actual test. Hannah Frankson led a live 30-minute defected records ride on Friday, September the 20th, featuring DJ Monkey. The ride was live from PSL. So members, I believe, were in that ride. Logan continued his Just Tabata series with a live 20-minute class just today, Sunday the 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern. These cardio sessions focus on traditional Tabata intervals, like 20 seconds of work followed by 10 seconds of rest. Right. And lastly, Peloton is celebrating Oktoberfest with a 30-minute live ride by Eric Yeager, and that was this past Friday, the 20th, as well as a 20-minute full body strength class with Asal today, Sunday, the 22nd. So don't know why they didn't wait till October to do the Oktoberfest classes, but maybe there was a reason behind that. But that was this week at Peloton.
Well, earlier this week, Peloton released a new batch of metrics classes, which focus primarily on the numbers and music with very limited chit-chat and antic storytelling and chit-chat and banter from the anecdotes, from the coaches. So if you're not into all the talk, these classes are perfect for a lot of members that just love, the training.
Yeah.
The technical aspect of the
Not
classes.
My jam.
So
Not my jam.
9 new classes were released to the on-demand library on the 15th. There are 4 rides, 3 runs, which are all pace targets, by the way, 1 hike and 1 row, all taught by different instructors, including 2 in German and 1 in Spanish. We have the full list on pelobuddy.com, but just one or two that I'll mention. There's a 45-minute metrics ride with Ben, who's, he's typically, he keeps the chit-chat to a minimum. He'll just do his shout-outs, but, a lot of people like him for that because he's just about the music. Mila and Camilla, they taught in German and Spanish. There's a ride with Jess King. There's a hike with Rebecca that's 20 minutes. Bex and Susie taught runs. There's a 30-minute one and a 45-minute one that Susie taught. We also got one from Jeffrey McEachern. That's in German. That was a 20-minute run. And a row from Ash Pryor.
Nice. All right. Awesome. Well, when it comes to running, scrap that. When it comes to life, There are only 3 rules that should apply. Be yourself. Don't be limited by how others might perceive you. Let go of fear. Stop worrying about how you look or what others may think. And enjoy the moment. Focus on the joy and freedom of the experience rather than outside expectations. These are the words of German tread cutie with a booty, Jeffrey McEachern. And he launched his new signature tread series, Like Nobody Is Watching. This past week, the first class dropped on Tuesday, and it truly was everything and more. The only downside for all us English-speaking members is it's in German. But whether you finally want to start your running journey or you want to strengthen your passion for it, this class does allow you to reclaim your happy place in every aspect of life. It was a walk plus run, 30 minutes. The music that he picked, and again, it was my pick of the week. I'm happy to talk more about it in the pick of the week because it truly was just a wonderfully well curated music set that he had in there. I mean, every single one of those songs had been hearted by me previously. So he had If I Could Turn Back Time, starting out with Cher. I Want to Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston. He had Dancing Queen with ABBA. I Wanted That Way, the Backstreet Boys, It's My Life, Bon Jovi, Wonderwall, Oasis. And he ended off with Angels by Robbie Williams. I believe there was one German song in there. Yes, there was. I'm just looking here. And I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. Verdammt. I think Ich lieb dich. But it was fun anyway. And he was singing his heart out. I'm so thrilled for him. There's no question he has zero inhibitions on that tread, and there is it's just a party. It's just fun, and he's the German version of John Husking, where you're just kind of on there dancing your ass off and having a great time. So huge shout out to Jeffrey on this new signature series.
Very cool. Well, Peloton's continuing its mission to deepen community engagement by rolling out some new features aimed at fostering connections directly on the platform. In a recent blog post, Peloton hinted that the recently launched private teams feature is just the beginning of its broader strategy to enhance social interaction and build the fitness communities within the Peloton app and the platform itself. So in their blog post, they went on to say that this new feature was, quote unquote, the first step toward building out fitness communities on Peloton. In other words, this is only the start. They're gearing up to release some additional community-focused features in the future, so stay tuned.
Sounds good. Peloton are also bringing us more group outdoor runs. So first up, we have the Run Crew teaming up with Latinos Run and Latinas Run across 5 U.S. cities this fall. The first meetup started today, actually, in Chicago, with Santa Monica, New York City, Houston, and Denver being the other cities where folks can meet. Members can choose a 5K run or a 1.5-mile walk and are then invited back to the Peloton store in those cities to enjoy a guided post-sweat stretch and snacks. You can head over to either pelobuddy.com or to One Peloton to be able to see where these are held and dates. So they are kind of continuous through, I didn't want to list them all out because there are a lot of them. So they start, as I said, today, and they go right through, I think, for a couple months. So definitely look out for that. On Saturday, the New York Road Runners hosted a run, which Rad Lopez was actually at. It wasn't advertised that way. It was, advertised as a New York Road Runners run, but Rad was in fact there. And I'm not entirely sure whether he actually ran with folks. I assume he did, or whether he was just kind of the cheering squad. But he was there.
Nice
and
surprise.
Then lastly, Peloton Studios is hosting a UK Black History Month outdoor run event in collaboration with Black Girls Do Run, which is an organization out in the UK. It's on Wednesday, the 9th of October at 6 p.m. Hannah Frankson and Justin Thompson Rule will be leading this running and walking experience, which will take members through some important sites of Black history in the UK. So they'll actually the path will be specifically dedicated to going past sites of UK Black history. It's roughly about a 5K, but both runners and walkers of all levels are welcome. And it will have designated pace groups to support them throughout. Folks do not need to sign up for this, but it is on a folks do need to sign up for this, but it is on a first come, first served basis. So definitely pop over again and take a look and see whether that's something that you would like to join.
Cool. Well, another Lululemon members weekend took place last weekend, and one of the fun events that was highlighted was a group outdoor 5K run, which was led by Eric Yeager and also with some assistance from Camilla Ramon and Matty Maggiacomo. Did you go to any of those events?
I was in Miami last weekend for Parents Weekend.
There were some gift bags. People received gift bags. Each had a $50 Lululemon gift card in them. So basically, it covered the cost. I paid for to attend the event. Yeah, itself. So kind of nice.
Yeah, I think they got like a water bottle, Lululemon tote bag, and a gift card. And those are for the people going to the event. I do believe that those folks, the same as they did last time, was folks got water bottles if they went to classes. And I believe that they had done that in the past as well. All right. Well, Peloton is offering select prospective members an invite-only discount for refurbished bikes and Bike Plus models. These emails contain unique one-time use codes, allowing recipients to purchase a refurbished original bike for $995, which is a $150 discount, or a refurbished Peloton Bike Plus for $1,595, which is a $400 discount. The offer is just valid through September the 24th. So if you are listening to the show and are interested in purchasing a refurbished bike, jump on it quick. It does include delivery and setup, but as always, it does not include the required all-access membership. The promotion does follow Peloton's recent Labor Day sale, which focused on the Tread and Tread Plus without including bikes. So the invite-only nature of the discount reflects definitely a targeted approach rather than a widely advertised sale. So definitely doing things a little bit different.
Are they going to ever offer any refurbed rows or treads or tread pluses? Some other hardware out there.
Yeah.
That could be refurbished. Well, anyway, moving on. Peloton has officially launched a marathon apparel collection offering performance-driven apparel designed specifically with long-distance runners in mind. And the company announced the news via many of their channels, saying, tried, tested, and approved by Bex Gentries and Matt Wilpers. This limited edition collection of running gear can keep up with your marathon training sessions. And the collection blends technical functionality with aesthetic design, catering to athletes who seek, both comfort and durability over long miles. And it features pieces that prioritize moisture-wicking fabrics and strategic ventilation and ergonomic fit to optimize performance during those long runs. And the color palette is mostly black and white with some minimalist design elements to it that includes the following different products. We've got sports bra, leggings, biker shorts, tanks, tees, shorts, and some tights, with prices ranging from $58 to $98 US per item.
And a pretty sexy ad they had with Bex and Matt.
Sleek.
It was really good. I thought it was very appealing, very, very appealing. Well, 'tis Virgo season. There are lots of Peloton instructor birthdays. We've had a few already, and this past week we had lots. So huge happy birthday goes out to Alex Kowarski, who celebrated this past Monday, the 16th. Anna Greenberg's birthday was on Wednesday, the 18th. Eric Yeager has had his birthday on Thursday, the 19th. And Robin Arzan celebrated her birthday on Friday, the 20th. Of course, Pelo Buddy co-host Amanda Siegel gets to celebrate her birthday on Saturday, September 21st. And I will note that none of those instructors had a song written about their birthday, where I do. So thank you, Earth, Wind, and Fire, for my September, Night to Remember song that I love is dedicated to me. How about that?
Is Peloton Studios still doing their happy birthday posts for instructors? I feel like I haven't seen them.
You know what, they don't post. I think they just story them.
They Cody's.
I think they just story them. I think they put them in their stories. Okay. So
they used to do an actual hard post.
Which is so funny you said that, though, because I actually went back onto both Peloton Studios and One Peloton to see if. But thanks to Pelo Buddy, you can find them right there on Chris's feed. You'll know exactly when an instructor has a birthday.
We'll share.
Because Chris shares it.
So.
All right, folks, we will jump right into Instructor in the News. I will kick it off with a very cool story. Kirsten Ferguson. I always mispronounce her name, and I apologize. Kirsten Ferguson surprised Peloton member Jennifer Brown, also known as This Iowa Mom on the leaderboard, on the Hoda and Jenna show last week. So Jennifer's story is just pretty remarkable. She had weighed in 4 years ago at 342 pounds and decided at 37, after having a child, that she needed to get her shit together, as she says. She didn't quite say that on live TV, but she needed to get herself healthy. And she set herself a challenge to run just 1 mile a day and keep moving. And she said she started her first mile and she probably ran it in 25 minutes, she said. 5 years later, and on her 43rd birthday, Jennifer is running the New York City Marathon, which is incredibly impressive. And she shared her story with Hoda and Jenna on the show, explaining how Kirsten was a huge motivational piece to her, to this transition in what she did. So she said she had lost, I think it was 189 pounds initially, and then continued, and I mean, just is phenomenal. I mean, she looks absolutely fantastic and has been able to continue to keep it off. But she said, hearing Kirsten's words, and just knowing some of the stuff that she's overcome. Obviously, Kirsten's running the New York City Marathon this year too. She said that she was just somebody that she gravitated towards and tended to run, primarily with her. To much of her surprise, Kirsten was at the studio at the Jenna and Hoda show,
NBC,
and came out and got to chat with her. Of course, Jen couldn't keep the tears back. She was incredibly emotional. Kirsten came out with a beautiful bunch of flowers, and she basically said to Jennifer, "I got you." I mean, those were literally her words. She said,
"Love it.
My kind of prize to you is that you will have my number. I will be there for you whenever you need me. You just text me, you call me, and I'm there for you." And it was pretty amazing. So huge shout out, firstly, to Jennifer for being so incredibly inspiring to so many in the community, and of course to Kirsten for putting herself out there and giving Jen that that kind of shoulder. Yeah, amazing.
That's great. Well, Christine D'Ericol was recently on the Food and Wine podcast. It's the season 2, episode 18 of the podcast titled Tinfoil Swans from the Food and Wine podcast. But this episode is titled Cycling Champion Christine D'Ericol Wants You to Drop Your Baggage Around Negative Food Talk. The wildly popular Peloton instructor believes in celebrating days that end in Y, especially over a nice meal and a glass of wine. So they talked all about body image, life-changing restaurant meals, her wild career early on when she first moved to New York City from Pennsylvania as a bike messenger, which she's shared some crazy stories, also getting into an accident, getting hit by cars, cooking, learning to cook, and what meal she would make for her favorite musician. So nice conversation there on the Food and Wine podcast. And also, It wasn't covered, but Cody was recently on a podcast called the Gay Ass Podcast, and I've almost listened to the majority of it, but it was pretty fun. It was pretty funny. It was a lot about dating apps and hooking up. So I would give that one a listen. It was fun, classic Cody on there.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, Hannah Corbin was on AM Extra in Oregon this past week, chatting about Hashimoto's and autoimmune disease affecting the thyroid and how she had to advocate for herself. She spoke about how she just knew that something was not right with her body. Initially, doctors chalked it up to her profession, being a personal trainer and being as active as she was. But she continued to just pursue it and recognize there was something wrong, and eventually was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, and how, she deals with it and what she needs to do. To learn more, folks can actually go to TED awareness.com, and there is a ton of information on there, and you can also learn more about Hannah's story.
And I don't think Hannah's the only instructor. I think Ash Pryor has Hashimoto
it too. She does.
As well. Yeah.
She does. Yes.
Well, Toonday recently teased a new partnership on Instagram, so it left a lot of us wondering what product or what brand it could be with. It was basically just a picture of her, a silhouette image of her holding something to her face, kind of like a microphone, but it was clearly not a mic. It looked more like a can of Celsius, was my first impression. So I was thinking maybe some sort of drink, energy or supplement drink. I don't know, but it looked like a can of something. And all she said was, the caption just read, "Something is coming."
Nice.
So stay tuned.
Report to you as soon as we know what it is. And then just a quickie, Callie Gullickson is back. She had her first class live this past weekend during the Lululemon weekend event with members, and folks were really, really excited to have Callie back on the schedule, giving that bring your own energy, which she is so famous for. So welcome back to Callie.
And then Jeffrey McEachern, he posted on Instagram this past week. He was the warm-up host and MC for a running event in the UK. He wrote, "What an honor to be a part of today's Run to the Future," hosted by the incredible Richard Whitehead and Adele Roberts. This event was all about celebrating diversity, individuality, and making sports accessible for everyone. Whether it was the 2K or 5K, the atmosphere at the Olympic Park Stadium was nothing short of electric. The sun was shining, and so were the amazing people who came together from all walks of life to support and advocate for inclusivity in sports. And they showed him, he was, he had a microphone. He was standing kind of at the finish line, cheering everybody on. So it looked like a good time. Nice London weather. Yeah,
very fun. And then, folks, we saved the best for last. We have a new married couple in our midst. From what we've gathered this week, Rebecca Kennedy and Andy Spear are hitched. They went off to Puglio in Italy to celebrate, and only in Rebecca style. She said, we are going to celebrate all week long. Oh. And they have certainly been celebrating all week long. It seems that the actual wedding was on Friday, the 19th. But there was tons leading up to it.
Friday the 20th?
20th. I'm sorry. I meant the 20th. Friday the 20th. So yeah, I think that either Thursday the 19th or Friday the 20th. I think it was Friday the 20th. And some of her close friends and fellow instructors got to be there with her. From what we saw, obviously her bestie Jess King was there.
Yeah.
We saw Adrian was there, Tunde.
Dennis was there.
And Brittany Allen. She has a very close relationship with Brittany Allen. She was there. So we will report back to you next week once we have all the details. But she's been very generous in picture sharing and giving us, stuff as it's been happening on social media.
Yeah, they had a nice convertible rental car that I was eyeing that looked really cool.
And with some incredible photographs. She enlisted a big name, I guess, a photographer, a European wedding photographer that just did some phenomenal shots, absolutely phenomenal. So I'm so excited for them. They are just such the perfect couple. Quirky, crazy, and Andy just goes along with all her stuff. I mean, there was that one,
he's a good sport.
Short shirt that she said took her 3 weeks to create with all sparkles on it, and he donned it, and he looked cool and hot. And they are definitely a team. So huge congratulations to both of them. We're so thrilled. And I know that Rebecca was really looking forward to this. She put a lot of effort into this wedding. So huge congrats.
All right. Well, that about wraps it up. Now we should go right into picks of the week.
Sounds good. Kick it off.
And let's see what we got here. All right. First up, Robin Arzon's 45-minute intervals and arm rides from the 12th. A-Tune24 said the playlist was awesome and I loved the class structure. The intervals were tough but doable and it was a great workout. Very simple class plan so you know what was coming and what to expect. And then at DT's 30-minute Pilates, also from the 12th, Armature 3 said longer Pilates classes like this one always feel like a treat. And then Tunde's 30-minute Afrobeats ride from September 12th. Spin Loving Mama said this was basically a low-impact ride except for one short interval out of the saddle. Tunde takes some moments to celebrate her 5-year Peloton anniversary in this ride.
Nice. All right. Camilla Rahman, she had a 30-minute low-impact ride on the 13th. This one came to us from Amajar 3. She said this was an explicit baby-making songs ride. It was a riot. Moving on, we've got Matt Wolper's 75-minute Power Zone endurance ride. That one was on the 14th, and it still blows me away that folks are up at 7 a.m. to ride for 75 minutes. But I guess get it out of the way. This one came to us from All Biz Liz, and this is my pace. And they said, great ride to movie track songs. Final ride was I've had the time of my life. Just a great fun class from Matt that made 75 minutes fly by. And then Bradley Rose had a 20-minute hit and heels ride. Also the 14th. This one came to us from Daisy Mack. And she said, great class structure, just 20 minutes of solid work.
Nice. And this next one is from me. This is Cody's 45-minute pop ride from Saturday, September 14th. He hasn't taught a 45-minute one in a long time. So this one was a ton of fun. He had multiple tracks from some of the same artists. Like he had a couple Sabrina Carpenter songs. He had a couple Chappell Roan songs, which was fun. A couple Katy Perry songs. So he really... he doubled up on a lot of artists, which was a good time. And also, I'll have to say, Cody's rides as of late have been kind of mediocre. Like they've been very low energy. And I've seen posts on social media saying, what's going on with Cody? Like he's not himself in the rides. he kind of like lacked that energy. Like he was just going through the motions, phoning it in. But this one, the interactions were great. There was a lot of funny moments. He was very upbeat. So it was kind of like back to the Cody that I love.
Did he have a breakup? Did he end up, are they broken up?
That's been thrown out I've seen that on social media. I've seen some people say he and Andreas no longer follow each other. I don't know. He hasn't said a single word about that. So
it's got to be so hard. We all go through our own stuff, right? And, you have to just kind of pocket it and be on show. And it's got to be hard for them. I can only imagine that.
Maybe that was a factor.
For sure.
He was living with him. He did move into his place in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with that situation. But
yeah.
Anyway, great ride. I'm surprised there wasn't anyone else that submitted that one, to be honest. But next up, going to the mat, 30-minute slow flow from Kira Michelle. Armajar 3 said this was luxuriously slow, which is great to have the option from time to time. And then Callie's 20-minute arms and shoulders strength from Saturday the 14th, her first class back from maternity leave. Liv swears, and Allison 8689 said Callie's first class back live. So glad to have her back.
Nice. And then this one is a biggie. Kirsten Ferguson had a 75-minute walk plus run. That was on the 15th at 10 a.m. It came to us from Kaylee Marie P., Just Dance Lisa, and IVI Oregon. This was perfection. Need more 75 minutes from her, please, were the comments. So, wow, that's amazing. And then Christine had a 60-minute power zone ride, also from the 15th. It also came to us from Just Dance Lisa and our very own Chris Lewis, Pelo Buddy. And they said this was a race simulation ride. It was actually 2-in-1. She said after it might have been her hardest PZ ride she's ever done. And they said, and we don't disagree. So that is certainly interesting. And then Ali Love, her 30-minute Todo Ritmo ride from the 15th. It came to us from Christina M. Romano and I. Zonian. They said great playlist and fun to see Rad in studio for this class.
Nice. Next up, Sam Yo's 30-minute music of Marvel ride from September 16th. Bob Maxfield Gargon 8209 Spin Loving Mama said, so well structured and fun. Sam was on great form for this one. The music and the storytelling were so great that it didn't matter that I don't have a clue about the Marvel universe. And then Alex Toussaint's 45-minute hip-hop ride from the 16th. D-Gen Beauty Queen said great music as always, and Alex's hip-hop rides.
Nice. And then I'll take the next one because, as I said in the stories, this was one definitely not to be missed. Matty Maggiacomo's 30-minute walking bootcamp from the 17th. And I was in good company, very good company. My sweet friend from Canada, who, Mons 11, who had been in studio with Maddie the weekend before, got to pick this one as one of her picks of the week. Violet Vibe and Bertha C. Runs MD. Just thought that the transitions were, really well placed. I liked the fact that you kind of had the, tread, floor, and thought that the floor workouts were really, really well orchestrated. Excellent. And we're looking very forward to more. So intern that's listening, put it out there. We want more walking boot camps. We want more tread boot camps, period. And John Pruitt wants them live. So make sure that we get them live. And I've made it
very clear to Jen Cotter, I want more Cody bike boot camps.
All right. Well, let's see.
The word is out there.
The word is out. Yeah. And then the next one is mine too. And again, I am in good company. It is Jeffrey McEachern's 30-minute, like nobody's watching. It really wasn't a run. It was a walk. It was a walk plus run. It was from the 17th. It came to us from myself, Chin for the Win, and Cammie Ham. Excellent playlist, and we love this new series. And then Leanne had a 30-minute 80s ride from the 17th. It came to us from JMax 77 and said this had a great 80s playlist. Leanne's 80s rides are absolutely the best. Being an 80s baby, she really curates those playlists beautifully. So
yeah, that's my favorite decade to work out to. Oh, and speaking of 80s, I'm sure it will be on next week's Picks of the Week, but on Thursday morning, the 19th, Jen Sherman taught for the first time in her career Peloton at 6:30 a.m. wearing bike shorts.
Oh, so really?
She was really out of her comfort zone. Yes.
Wow.
And she started off the pre-show, like saying how naked she felt and how cold it was in the studio. And it was a great ride, great 80s tunes.
You got up at 6:30 to ride with her.
I know.
I'm impressed.
It's been a long time since I worked out that early, but it was 80s.
You. And it was her, and it was Jen Sherman. Of course, you weren't missing
getting up for that. So yeah, really fun one, and to take if you haven't taken it already. So now going over to Benny, 20-minute 90s pop ride, which was in German from the 17th. Bertha C. Runs MD said 20 minutes of pure guilty fun, and Benny is sweating and singing along with you. He is a hidden gem. And then Rad Lopez's 20-minute bodyweight strength from the 17th. Julie MJ said good programming and great Afro beats playlist. And then I'll let you round out the last couple.
We have Susie Chan had a 30-minute classical outdoor walk. It dropped on the 18th. It came to us from Nicole LCSW. Very calming playlist to get through this outdoor run. And wrapping it up, Rebecca Kennedy, a 15-minute dance cardio from the 18th. Also dropped midnight. It came to us from Just Dance Lisa. And they said, glad to see some new dance cardio classes drop finally. And
Sweet.
That, folks, wraps up our Picks of the Week. So, always like to see some new stuff on there. And there was some awesome classes, some really awesome classes. So keep them coming. Make sure, as Chris mentions, he posts about them on Wednesday evenings, and we kind of do them from Wednesday to the following Wednesday, or Thursday to Wednesday. So that's why you kind of hear them a little delayed. But yeah, thank you so much for that, and for tuning in, for listening, and watching. And I guess we will see you back here, same place, next week. So for me here, bye for now, everybody.
And for me in Michigan, thank you for watching and listening. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag, and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.